LLMs. Within generative AI, there's a lot of different subfields, you could say, a lot of different types of algorithms that do different things. Large language models are the biggest and by far the most popular. So a large language model, or an LLM, is a type of Gen AI algorithm that takes in a text prompt and returns a text output. Now, how it does this is a little complicated. I'm not going to go into the details of how these things are trained. But the way these work is it looks at a string of words. So you have a series of words, the cat jumps over the. And all the AI is doing, when you put that in as a prompt, is it's trying to predict what's the most likely next word. What word is most likely to come next? So the cat jumps over blank. Maybe the AI fills in the word the. And then what it does to generate a whole string of responses actually takes that word it just predicted, adds it to the sequence, and then say, okay, what's the next most likely word? The cat jumps over the dog. The cat jumps over the dog today. The cat jumps over the dog today, exclamation point. And by iterating on that sequence, you get these nice long responses that these models are outputting. These models are huge. A human brain has about 100 trillion connections between individual neurons in the brain. These models have hundreds of billions of connections between artificial neurons. So they're huge. As of just a couple years ago, we were reaching hundreds of thousands of connections. Now we're at hundreds of billions, but we're still not close to human-level intelligence. And we're still not, these models aren't thinking the same way we're thinking, right? When you think about a problem, you're not starting at the first word, and then you think of the second word, and then you think of the third word. Usually we have a little bit more reasoning. So just to give you an idea of some of the limitations here. They're trained on vast amounts of data. So the way these models are trained, how do they know what the next word to predict is? Basically, we dump all of the data on the internet into the model. And that's what it uses to predict words. So it has all of that knowledge from the internet built into the model itself. And then there's a lot of fine-tuning and adjusting that goes on after the model is trained to make it actually good at responding to questions as opposed to just continuing sequences of words.